So awareness is the first step. It's the most crucial step. We need to be aware of what is happening, where we're at, what our beliefs are, what our patterns are, how we are blocking ourselves from receiving more. And then from there, we're going to be able to make a change. Welcome to Empower and Evolve, the vortex of growth that you have been looking for. I am your host, Kat Tannyberg. I'm a mindset coach for female leaders, and I am committed to helping you cultivate the mindset shifts that generate you wild success. Each episode, we explore ways to tap into your true potential. We face the shadows that hold you back, and we embrace the journey toward your most abundant life. If you love what you learn here today, then I invite you to share this episode with someone that needs to hear it. Right, it's time to plunge in. Hello and welcome, my love. First of all, I want to apologize for the fact that I had promised you an interview with someone really beautiful this month, talking into her journey of feminine embodiment. And as you can tell, it's just me. Unfortunately, this person became sick and was no longer able to record this podcast episode. And everything that's happening this month and everything that I've got going on, I tried to find a replacement, but I wasn't able to find anyone this last minute. So now instead of having an interview this month, you just have me. And it was so interesting to me because this morning, as I did my morning practice, which is I do some breath work in bed, and then I ask myself, what are the 3 things I need to do today to move closer towards my goals? And the very first thing that dropped in for me today was record something. And to me, it was like, what am I meant to record? Like, I recorded a bunch of stuff for my Liberated Woman Mastermind yesterday. I don't really have anything to record today. And I was just sitting with it this morning and I was like, what am I meant to record today? And then I just received this feedback about the second person I had invited to come on not being able to do it. And I was like, that's it. I am meant to record the podcast today. And then I was reflecting on the theme of feminine embodiment. And I asked myself, what is a potent transmission, a potent message that I can bring you in alignment with feminine embodiment to really wrap up this month's content and everything we've moved through, from teaching you about feminine embodiment, what it is, why you should care about it, what it gives you, what it teaches you, my own journey with it, moving from there into the next podcast episode where I talked about the difference between embodiment and overthinking and how we want to stop the overthinking and drop back into our bodies, to then the episode where I talked about cyclical living and the cycles that we get to tap into as women, to now this podcast episode, how to allow yourself to receive with more ease. And I really want you to just take a moment, take a deep breath in and out. In and out. And one more. What would it take for you to allow yourself to receive more? What's the answer that dropped in? Because this is a little golden nugget that you can already tap into to recognize what your journey of receiving looks like. For me, receiving is the most feminine trait of all. And unfortunately, I know that most women are so blocked off from allowing themselves to receive. And this is where the concept of how we do one thing is how we do everything really comes in. Because most women that I know, that I work with, are high achievers. They are Mrs. Hyper independent. And that means they don't like to ask for help. Even if they get offered help, they try to do it alone because they have told themselves that they need to do it alone. They are someone that when they receive compliments, they either feel really uncomfortable or they deflect the compliments straight away. Do you recognize yourself in these behaviors? Now, if we layer this through the lens of how we do one thing is how we do everything, I want you to recognize that if you're blocking yourself from receiving help, from receiving compliments, what else are you blocking yourself of? Love, connection, money, wealth, success. And there's so many layers to allowing yourself to heal this relationship with receiving. But you get to start simple. You get to start by simply allowing yourself to say thank you the next time you get a compliment. The next time someone offers you help, say, I would love that. Thank you. And really notice what transpires from there. The more you start to be able to do this, the more you will be able to receive. Now, let's take this a little bit deeper. Quite often, when I work with my clients who want to receive more money in their business, I actually take a look at where their nervous system is at. Sometimes I talk to them about it. Sometimes I do this more in the back burner, like not the back burner, but I more look at it from my end and guide them to nervous system regulation without them even knowing that this is what we're doing. Because the truth is that when you are in a heightened state where you're constantly in fight or flight or freeze, where your nervous system is on edge, it's constantly dysregulated, you're stressed, you're burnt out, you neglect yourself. The truth is that when you're in that space energetically, you won't be given more. Because the universe looks at you and sees, like, well, she can't even handle what she has right now, so why should we give her more? So it's extremely important that when you want to be scaling financially, you actually have to create this space, both energetically and on your schedule, to attract more. Because if you're already maxed out, you're not going to be given more because you're already struggling to manage what you have. And this is something that happens unconsciously, right? Because 95% of our actions, our habits, everything we do is unconscious. 95% of the time we're running on autopilot. So this is the same. This is happening on autopilot. You're not aware of this. You consciously want more money, you want more clients, you want more success. But unconsciously, you can't handle what you have. So then your unconscious is like, well, you can't handle what you have, so why would I give you more? So let's just self-sabotage, procrastinate. Let me just give you all these obstacles landing into your lap that you need to navigate in order to keep you safe in this familiar zone where you're at, so that you can just continue dreaming of achieving more, but you're not actually going to be given more because you can't handle it. And this is really, I am finally coming to a place where I'm able to put words into my unique methodology and framework that I take my clients through. I've really been taking some time over the last couple of weeks and feeling into how I can put it into words that I take my clients through. And I haven't fully landed on the name of the framework yet, but I believe it's the feminine success formula. And it has three parts to it. The first piece is awareness. Awareness meaning you need to recognize where you're at, what's happening right now, what the problems are, what the patterns are, where you're at in order to be able to make a change. If you're not even aware that there's a problem or something that needs to shift, you're not going to be able to make a change. So awareness is the first step. It's the most crucial step. We need to be aware of what is happening, where we're at, what our beliefs are, what our patterns are, how we are blocking ourselves from receiving more. And then from there, we're going to be able to make a change. So step one is awareness. And most of the time, we're not even aware of these patterns and stories and beliefs happening, which is why we need someone like a coach outside of us who can pick up these beliefs that we run. So quick little side story. I was recently on a discovery call with a new one-on-one client of mine who is an absolute ideal dream client of mine. And she was telling me about her business and her wanting to scale her business. She's a personal trainer and a health coach, and she has this beautiful in-person clientele that she works with, and they love her. And yet she has this belief that if financially something was to happen in her client's life, she would be the first thing that gets dropped. And I called her out on it straight away. I was like, oh, that's so interesting that you've decided for your clients what's important to them and what not. And I could see the little like glitch in the system for her, and she was like, I've never thought of it that way. Thank you for pointing this out. Because see that even though that might be her belief, it might not be someone else's belief. For me personally, if my finances change, the investment that I make into my health and physical well-being is not going to be the first place where I make cuts. So it's going to be different for everyone, but she had already decided that for her clients, it was going to be something that's the case. It was an unconscious story that stems back from somewhere in her life where this has started from, but she wasn't aware of this even until I pointed it out. And this is why working with a coach is so crucial, because when you tell me about your challenges and what you're moving through, I can pick up on these little glitches, these little beliefs that are holding you back, that you're not even able to really recognize yourself because they're normal to you. So awareness is the crucial piece here. Awareness is number one in the feminine success formula. Number two, energetics. And this is what I'm talking about right now with this wanting to receive more. The thing with receiving more is if you're already at capacity, you're not going to be able to receive more. So we're going to need to work on your energetics. And that energetics includes feminine embodiment, nervous system, unconscious mind. There's so many layers to energetics. And that's the second piece that I need to work with my clients, is actually bringing their energetics into a place where they can start to call in what they're working towards, where they can start to manifest their goal, and where they can start to receive what they're working towards. And then the third piece of the feminine success formula is action. Because in order to achieve your goals, you need to take aligned actions. But the aligned action is not going to work until we've taken the first two steps of awareness and getting your energetics right to bring in more. So this is a formula that we need to move through in order to create the success that we're after in a feminine way, where it's not where we had to, in this masculine frame, where we had to hustle and give up and like sacrifice and do more and achieve this success from this heightened nervous system standpoint, where we actually secretly hate what we have created, and hence we will block ourselves from creating that success again. And I've experienced this. I had my first 10K month in business in 2021. And it took me a whole nother year to do it again. Because that very first time that I achieved that 10K month in business, I hustled. I did things I didn't want to do. I sacrificed everything. I pushed people. It came from such an icky place that I had taught myself that if I want to have this kind of financial success, this is what I need to do. And of course, I don't want to do that. So why would I do it again? So it took me a year. And that second time around, I had done it again the same way, from that burnt out place of pushing and force and ick. And it wasn't until I started to be in alignment with my feminine energy and recognize and bring awareness to the fact that I had been hustling my way to success, it had to start with that awareness piece to then drop into the embodiment piece and work on my energetics and change things and teach myself that I could create success in an aligned way. That's the magic. And then from there, I could start to take different actions to create the future that I was wanting to create. So, in order for you to receive more and create and receive the life that you're after, it starts with these three things. And on top of that, which kind of goes into the energetics, is just really learning to come from a place of trust, surrender, and knowing. Having this unwavering belief and knowing that your goal is already on its way. It's this energy of, if you use Google Maps and you put your address into Google Maps that you're going to, and you just click start and you just follow the instructions and you get directed to exactly where you need to go. I want you to have that same kind of energy and knowing when it comes towards receiving your goals, receiving your manifestations, receiving your dreams, receiving the success on your terms. It's kind of this set and forget energy. Because with this GPS, when you set your Google Maps, you just trust. You just trust and you just follow the instructions. And you may have music playing, you may have a podcast playing, you may just be singing along, and you're just in this great state and you're just having fun. And then the GPS tells you to take a right turn. So you take the right turn and you're not worried about when you need to take the next left turn, but you just follow the instructions. I want you to have that same kind of energy when you're co-creating with the universe and when you are allowing yourself to receive what you're wanting to create. Can you have this set and forget energy where you just have this knowing and trust within you that it will all work out and it will all come together in the way that it's meant to come together? Can you do that for me? Because when you're able to be in that place of just pure trust, knowing that no matter what, you're going to get to your goal, and you're not trying to micromanage and you're not trying to know every single step of how you're going to get there, when you can stay in that knowing, your intuition, the universe, source, the people around you, everything is going to drop these little nuggets of what is next for you. What is that next right turn that you need to take? What is the next left turn you need to take? And these are going to be ideas around content, around offers, around how to change things, around what to say, who to talk to, who to reach out to, who to collaborate with. It's just going to drop in when you can come to this place of knowing and trust that what you're working towards, you're going to receive no matter what. This is feminine embodiment, when you can start to come from that place and just trust. And one of the books that I read years ago, oh my God, I can't even remember what it was called. But in that book, she talked into the 11th hour miracle, creating this unwavering knowing and trust that things will happen, even if it's the 11th hour of when you were working towards making your dreams a reality. And I have seen this numerous times where literally my manifestation, my goal, my dream, whatever I'm working towards, whatever I'm wanting to receive, drops in on the 11th hour. That takes faith, that takes knowing, that takes trust. Because most of the time when it comes to the 11th hour, you just want to give up because it hasn't happened yet and you don't know how it's going to happen. So you just create this belief within you that it's not going to happen. Well, tough luck, it won't. You got to trust. You got to come from the energy of knowing, that set and forget energy, and allow yourself to receive. Start to accept those compliments. Start to accept the help. Remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And in order to create feminine success, you need to have awareness, energetics, and strategy, and taking action. You've got this. Trust in your goals and your dreams and your manifestations dropping into your reality. And with this, I conclude the feminine embodiment piece of the Empower and Evolve podcast. I'll have a few links in the show notes. As this episode drops, I think it's the day after or the day after that. Oh, this episode will drop on the 27th. On the 29th is the day that my revamped version of Unleashed drops. I'll have it in the show notes. It's my beautiful 3-month feminine embodiment course that teaches you how to bring yourself into alignment with these feminine energies. It's going to have a whole piece on trust, intuition, receiving. There's going to be so much magic in that course. So make sure to sign up for it. I'll have the link in the show notes. And also, it's my birthday this week on the 31st. And I am running a birthday mystery sale just for 3 days on the 30th, 31st, and 1st. For $35, you can buy a mystery offer from me. You have no idea what it is. And you just get to trust. And it's only $35. So I'll have that link to the mystery offer in the show notes as well, so you can check that out. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next month. Thank you. Share this episode with anyone who needs some help with allowing themselves to receive and cultivate that trust. Thank you for joining me on the Empower and Evolve podcast. I hope that today's episode has sparked a new insight, or perhaps reminded you of your own power to manifest change. If you found value in our time together, I invite you to subscribe and share this podcast with someone who might need a little reminder of their own magical power. It would mean the world to me if you could take just 2 minutes to review the podcast and help it reach more people. And remember, the journey of transformation is ongoing. And sometimes the most powerful step that we can take is to simply pause, breathe, and realign with our deepest intention. Until next time.